Okay. Look, a lot of people are talking about the fact that I had Daniel Bryan beat Ric Flair clean on Monday Night Raw in 2004. I get it. But you wait till you see what he does this week. Rick, listen, Rick. I don't want to be the opponent for what you did. I want to see it. Just please.
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another TW 2020 video. We're flying towards SummerSlam week 2 now, and it's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, last week Bryan beating Flair was interesting, but he seems to be set up for a Cruiserweight Championship opportunity. Lots of things happening on both brands, so let's crack on. This is a big week. I'm hoping it's a big week. I need a big week for Monday Night Raw. If you're liking the video series so far, any of them, make sure to drop a like on this and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. And yeah, Monday night. Okay, Monday Night Raw comes from Missouri, the Sprint Center in Missouri, and we are opening with a pre-show 61. This is pretty good actually. Billy Kidman, the best of lot, 64. Matt Hardy, 57. Billy, Scotty, and Spike defeat Matt Hardy, Cade, and Jindrak with a 61. Fine. We're going to just change Spike Dudley's gimmick up to a nostalgia act because fine. And yeah, that's pretty good. 61. I can't complain. Moving on. Carrying on the pre-show. Test gets a big win over Maven for a 66. This is a pretty good match. 69 from Test. 48 from Maven. Test carrying the matches. This isn't real.
I mean, what's going on? I mean, and also, why are you not pushing Maven? Disgraceful behaviour by yourself. But yeah, I mean, it's Test, isn't it? I mean, that's the funny thing about Test. He was never going to be like the high top of like main eventing, but the guy was always a solid worker. So I'm not surprised about that. But yeah, you could put that on your show, and it would fit in quite nicely. So that's a promising sign, surely.
Surely. Backstage, we open the main part of the show with Evolution in their locker room for an 88.
Oh, not 100 this time.
But it's all good, but a little lower than I thought it'd be. Talking about their battle plan for tonight. Bryan was probably the problem, correct. Talking about their battle plan for tonight, because last week, of course, Bryan beat Ric Flair, and Flair is determined that nobody mentions it. Do not talk. Do not even say that little rookie's name. Flair is completely.
What happened last week?
Utterly, honestly embarrassed, right? He said nobody mentions it, especially tonight when me and Big Dave right here are going to destroy High Risk. Orton says, look, I won't mention it because the truth is I'm still basking in the glory, sorry Keith Lee, of winning the King of the Ring. And King Orton vows to become the youngest ever WWE champion at SummerSlam. Just a bit of a scene set with Evolution. 88 is going to be Orton and Chavo teaming against Michaels and Bryan in the main event tonight. Let's open though with that Evolution match. Evolution and High Risk for an 81. Pretty good considering you've got Spanky in there for a 47.
But I mean, obviously the high weight. Obviously, was it Batista 88? Was it 88? Is that
Batista 89, Flair 87, and Flair gets the win for his team, making Spanky tap with a figure 4, just a win back for Spanky, and another tag team win for Evolution. Like we're talking about a tag division. Could we see another contender in Evolution? I think we know 81, but another loss for High Risk after Paul London couldn't win the tournament. Spanky hasn't seemed to have won a thing since he's come into the company. Shane McMahon's finally had enough, so he's gone and got himself. Well, he's got himself a destroyer, and that destroyer is Samoa Joe. Comes out, destroys High Risk. 57. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Kind of is what it is. Lower mid card, right? I think this is a great first feud for Joe, and aligning McMahon and Joe, McMahon as the mouthpiece, makes a lot of sense to me. So we're gonna turn Shane heel.
As I said before, we've done this. Like, it's the best version is heel, minus the last heel turn he had when that was not great. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense because with Joe, it's simple with Joe. All you need to do is basically put him in a ring and destroy people. And Sean's good on the mic. I mean, it's a great thing. And obviously, the first opponents being high risk. I mean, Samoa Joe could toss them around like they're nothing. They could really prove what badass he is. So yeah, it's a great first feud for him. So it's a good decision. Now,
I'm excited by it. Okay, yeah, Joe and Shane. Interesting. Backstage, Booker T cuts a promo on AJ and John Cena for an 81. I think they're a little low tonight. I'm a bit worried now. He's going to explain his heel turn here. He says he's fed up of being underappreciated because the truth was, in Booker T's eyes, he should have been handed that King of the Ring crown. But Booker T wasn't even part of the tournament.
Yeah.
Disgraceful. Yeah. He says, not just that, right now, Booker T, as the biggest star on Monday Night Raw, should be handed the WWE Championship. And he is fed up that every waking day and every waking moment in his life, he has been underappreciated and overlooked. He's taken everything he's owed. And when it comes to AJ Styles, well, AJ Styles, he's beneath Booker T, very clearly. 81. Booker, we're just going to tap into a bit of real life where Booker, look, he clearly has had a bad year for us, right? He's lost match after match after match after match. So we're turning him heel. He's not quite going to be Dolph Ziggler's "it should have been me." He is quite clearly going to be look, I am clearly the top guy here. Just give me the belts. That's Booker's attitude at the moment.
I mean, it worked in our former life anyway. When he went to SmackDown, it was like the whole thing where he felt entitled that he's better than everyone. Everyone's beneath him. So, yeah, it makes sense. And obviously, it's a nice combination of that long-term booking you'll be doing for it anyway. So, but anyone can put it off, it's Booker T. So, yeah, I like it.
81. I kind of expected better, but it is what it is. Backstage in Randy Savage's office, only for 78. Things are low tonight. I'm worried. Savage and Vince discuss John Bradshaw later. Now, remember, JBL won the WWE Championship behind Randy Savage's back. Savage hasn't forgotten. Savage says quite simply, listen, I get that I've got the authority on Monday Night Raw, but when it comes to JBL, I'm happy to take some suggestions, he says to Vince, quite clearly against JBL. Not fair, considering it's the GM, but hey-ho. Vince says, well, how's about this? I don't know about you, but I think it'd be fun if JBL teams up tonight with the man who attacked me last week, Chris Masters, against I don't know, I guess somebody who I mean, I kind of want to see him get destroyed. So what about the Undertaker and Kane, the brothers of destruction? Savage is like, you know what, that sounds like a good idea. So the match is made. A big debut match for Chris Masters. I am worried, but JBL, Masters, Kane and Taker later on. 78. It is. Things are low tonight. You might go 2-0 up this week. I tell you now.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if it works. It's just we have these shows. I think where the show is might be a problem. I don't know if that affects it, but yeah, it's them kind of stuff. A couple of weeks ago would have got. Maybe last week would have got maybe an 80 or like mid 80. But yeah, don't know which one of those shows.
Maybe. Let's go back to the ring. AJ Styles takes on Tajiri for a 69. This is pretty good, actually. Tajiri has a gimmick getting stale, so we're going to have to change Tajiri's gimmick, which I will write down in my note. But this is pretty good. Styles gets a clean win with a Styles Clash for a 69. 66 from Styles, 53 from Tajiri. Just another win for Styles. After winning the Battle Royal last week, he's picking up victory after victory after victory. And at the moment, he's penciled in Styles and Cena at SummerSlam. Could he beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship?
I mean, the momentum's
That momentum.
maybe not.
Oh,
He's racking up momentum. That's
he
what
is.
I say.
He
Racking
is.
up momentum.
Just a win to get him over. Post-match, well, Booker T attacks Styles again, but this time John Cena comes out for the save for an 82. Again, lower than I would expect, considering you got Booker and Cena in there. But yeah, we're just putting the three of them together. Can you see where we're going? Can you see where we're going with this? You should be able to see.
Hint, hint, hint. Wink,
Hint,
wink.
wink, wink. Backstage, the WWE champion, that's better. Shawn Michaels got a promo on his number one contender, Randall Keith King Orton. Shawn says, after last week where he offered him respect, right? Shawn Michaels offered Randy Orton respect, offered him a handshake, and last week Randy Orton showed what kind of man he is. But you know what? If you want to play dirty, let's play dirty, Shawn Michaels says. Like, did Orton not watch wrestling in the 90s? Do you really want to have Shawn Michaels with that attitude? 100. Good promo from the champ.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reason why it's a champ. You can always deliver when you need him to.
Hopefully he delivers in the main event later. Okay, we have Rey Mysterio make an entrance for a match, and we explain the match because earlier today, Rey Mysterio cut a promo, and in this promo, he's asked about SummerSlam by the announcer, by whoever it is. I don't know, Todd Grisham or whoever it is. He's asked about SummerSlam and where Rey Mysterio comes in this, because last week he was unsuccessful in the Battle Royal, and it seems like there may not be a place for Rey Mysterio. And Rey says, yeah, it does. It seems like that, but I don't like that. I'm not going to take it lying down, because I don't know about you, and I'm not saying you have to agree, but I think that I am the best in the world, the very best wrestler on this planet. And each and every night, all I want to do is put on a show for these fans. At this point, A-Train interrupts and says, did I just hear you say the very best? Come on. I'm better than you. There's no way you're the very best. I am better than you. So they agree to prove it. Ray versus A-Train, just a way to set it up. And just to keep Ray going, he's going to have a little bit of a TV feud with TNA. But keep that best in the world line. We're gonna start labeling Rey Mysterio as one of the best wrestlers in the world. Because I feel like I undersell Rey Mysterio at times. Let's hype him. Yeah. Let's make him the man.
We try to see where this goes, but yeah.
Ray and A-Train then gets a 74, good match, and Ray putting in a 79. One of the best wrestlers in the world. Listen, little man versus big man formula, as you'd expect, and that always works with Ray. He wins with a West Coast pop after the 6-1-9, 74. Fine, good stuff. And as you would expect, A-Train and maybe his partner Test won't take this line down, so we'll see more from that next week. Backstage, the Cruiserweight Champion Chavo Guerrero cut a promo on Daniel Bryan for a 63. This is a little low as well. He says, you know what, last week I was challenged by this rookie. And the thing is, I do not accept, because you are a rookie. You've had, what, a handful of matches? Like one hand, you could count them here on Monday Night Raw. And you want to challenge for my belt? A belt that people have just gone for a tournament to try and get a championship opportunity. Listen, little punk, you are not worthy, Chavo says to Daniel Bryan. He may regret those words.
Is there any hints here? Because I just realised you got the best in the world tagline. You just called someone punk. Is this setting up some sort of story where you want like CM Punk's going to turn up or something?
Maybe I've stolen him and you don't know. 63.
Oh no! Have you done a Eric Bischoff?
Maybe.
Oh god! If you did that, I would respect you but hate you all the same.
Okay, let's do that match we teased earlier then. Brothers of Destruction against JBL and Masters. I have no idea how this will go. I'll take 70 plus. It gets an 82. Taker put in a 100 when you need him to perform. The Undertaker is incredible. Kane 84, JBL 85. This was your wild brawl of the night, and it worked. Chris Masters 16. Well, I mean, an 82.
What do you expect?
An 82. My God.
I think this proves that if you're going to use him, put him in tag matches.
Yeah, it seems
It's
to be
the best way.
Yeah, look, right, listen, Masters takes the pin from the last ride from Taker, but it's Taker, right? He can deal with that. We're officially going to turn Masters heel because for some reason he debuted as a babyface with a blue chipper, so we'll change that. It's going to fail. It's not even telling me if it's failed.
That hurts.
Okay, but yeah, good debut for Masters. Arguably the best match a rookie has ever had as a debut on Monday Night Raw. Trust in Taker, and of course another win for the Brothers of Destruction, who well and truly are in the tag title hunt with Evolution earlier, and with this tag team, the British 90. Yes, trust in the British Bruisers. Come on, William Regal, Dave Finlay, love that. They interrupt the Brothers of Destruction's celebrations to make a challenge for next week. BOD think they should be the tag champs. Evolution think they should be the tag champs, but the British Bruisers think they should be the tag champs. So the British Bruisers said, next week, us two versus you two, let's really prove who should be tag team champions. 99. I'm not saying it's a number one contenders match, but it's two top contenders for the tag titles.
Heavily implied, but
That's what we're doing with the story. It is heavily implied. That's the announcers will imply, well, surely the winner of that one will be going on to SummerSlam to take on the champs. You would expect. Not saying that's going to happen though. Okay.
But to be fair, I like number one contendership matches. I think they work. So, but again, that's what maybe that's the difference between you and me booking. It's how it separates us.
Main event time. Shawn Michaels, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Chavo Guerrero. We need a big score from these guys. We haven't had a real big main event, but a big main event. We haven't had a big main event in a few weeks, really, that have really put in performances better than you'd expect them to do. Bryan could bring this down. Let's find out. Tag match, main event, 80. I don't really know how to call that.
I mean, how the hell is Michaels and Danny Bryan not work well together when Shawn Michaels trained him? That makes no sense to me.
Game was weird. I mean, Bryan put in a good performance at 61. Orton 90 is pretty good. Michaels with an 85 is low. Michaels was off his game, but that was probably the chemistry issue. Chavo 80 was good. I think if that chemistry issue isn't there, you're looking at an 84, 85.
I don't get how this game sometimes works, like how the chemistry works. I mean, I know we could. I mean, can you change it on the game?
You can choose to, but I probably won't because we'll make it work. As you see, big finish. Daniel Bryan makes Chavo Guerrero tap to the cattle mutilation. Earlier tonight, Chavo says he's a rookie. He's not worthy of being a title contender to me. Well, Daniel Bryan may have just changed his mind.
I mean, he's going to get furious when he starts hearing them "you tap tap" chants next week.
Yep. Post match. Well, look, last week Orton laid out Michaels with an RKO. A sneaky RKO, a dastardly RKO. Shawn Michaels said, "You want to play dirty? We can play dirty." Lays out Orton with a super kick from nowhere, from behind, for a 99 to end the show. Good end to the show. I can't call it, to be honest. The main event really did let it down. This may be 85, 86.
Oh, I don't think that's that bad. I think it'd be I've probably like just an 89, maybe.
Let's find out. Monday Night Raw gets a 90. I'll take it. It's not terrible. I mean, there is 100 in there, to be fair, and 299. So
again, it's the main. If you're finding again, you're having the same problem I had last month, or the month before, right? Where it's just I wasn't getting good main event scores, and I think that's just what's happening here with you at the moment. Well, and I think that's how it works in this game sometimes.
I mean, as a way to tease, let me say that I'm expecting different next week. Next week main event, Shawn Michaels versus The Big Show.
Yeah, that's probably going to get a good score.
That should do better. And you know what? While we're here, let's tease it because I've got the next 2 weeks booked. I'm gonna do Randy Orton versus Batista. 2 weeks. So many questions. Many questions.
The idea that he's left that without any explanation is just...
Right, let's see what Smackdown does. 90 is beatable, Simon. Okay, back in Missouri, of course, for Smackdown. Scott Steiner and Val Venus on the pre-show for a 59, and Steiner outperforms Venus, but not in the result. Val Venus with a money shot. and the world's most wanted get a little bit of a one over on Scott on the pre-show.
There we go again. Look at that. The world's most wanted. They're starting to become a very, most wanted tag team.
The world's most wanted are now a prophecy. Speak of it, and it will become true. Basically,
I love that. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I might nick that. It just sounds like if you're going to go for that kind of comedy, just go all in with it. I love that. So Scott Steiner's going to probably be fuming, but to be fair, as Carl will probably, as a big Scott Steiner fan, I don't think really bothered what Scott Steiner has come to do here.
Fuck Scott Steiner. Also on the pre-show, women's tag match for a 48, Ivory and Victoria against Dawn Marie and Nydia, and a win for Victoria. She was the best of the lot with the 53. Kind of is what it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, I said I don't use, except for Ivory and Victoria, I don't use Dawn Marie, I don't use Nydia. So I think it makes sense that the team, the ones that play offensive, probably more in line with what I'm trying to do with the more wrestling heavy type stuff with the women's division. Ivory and Victoria makes more sense. So I got to think of it something to Victoria because recently she's kind of waited a little bit, but I got things to do. But that's promising. It's good. So hopefully it's good stuff.
Okay, kicking off the main show, Kurt Angle is going to talk about the World Championship when he's interrupted. A 100 race segment, of course.
And it's all because of Rikishi. No, it's not. It's just, they said it's underperformed it. But I mean, this one's quite simple here. Just Kurt's coming out, talking about how everything he's done the last couple of months. He's hiatus, leaving, coming back, almost winning the King of the Ring. I think I like the storyline beat that it really irks him that he lost that match. It's like you keep... Randy Orton keeps bringing it up. He's amazed. Like it really irks him that he lost that match. Maybe that's a little thing we can set up maybe in the future. But like the idea that think about it, it's a running gag. Like every time he does a promo, he goes, "That King of the Ring match never happened. Should have won that," type thing. Every time, like a running gag that really messes with Kurt Angle's mind. But anyway, this kind of thing, everything he's done is being to go in that world title. Everything's done because obviously you have to go back to rethink, to refocus, to go after Eddie. And he's kind of looking at Eddie and he's like, he's been away, he's had thinking, and he's come back. And Eddie Guerrero's your champion, and it's like the show's gone downhill. Like, if you want to go that far and go, Eddie being champion. When I left, we started the show, this thing was a peak of excellence. Wrestling excellence. Now Eddie Guerrero is champion, and it's all gone down. It's all gone downhill, and that's all gone. And I kind of like the idea that basically, like Kurt Angle's kind of going to Eddie Guerrero. It just he makes it like he's doing it for himself, but he acts like he's doing it for the fans. He's doing it for everybody else in the locker room to take that title, become your world champion to be proud of type situation.
Save Friday night.
I was tempted to use that over the top cliche, make SmackDown great again, but I think that's overused too much, but kind of like, because I thought, okay, it makes sense that Kurt's like he wants to become the world champion, but he also he wants to show that he's the best, like again, like you said, best in the world with Ray, like he wants to show he is the pinnacle of excellence. That kind of works for Kurt's character when you think about it. But then you'd be asking yourself, so why is Rikishi in this segment? Well, this is why he's in, because he comes out and he's sitting there, else he's hearing what Kurt says, and he's fed up of people coming around in this, in this show, attacking people, ending their careers, all this kind of stuff. Because obviously, Kurt's has been breaking people's ankles in a way, taking people out, making them tap. Obviously, got the thing with Mark Henry and stuff with obviously attacking him. So he's fed up with people doing that. And since he beat Mark Henry, he promised to himself that he would never let that happen on the show again. So obviously all that talk that Kurt Angle was saying has concerned him. So he's gone to he wants to send out, he goes up to Kurt and he goes, so you want to prove you're the best, show you're the peak of excellence? What about you face me tonight? What about you face me? And obviously Kurt's like cocky this, like, you know what? Yeah, I'm up for this. Like the crowd's like want this match, but I like the idea. Kurt's like, yeah, okay. You're a complete idiot for going it, because if you face me, I'm going to destroy you. But if you want this match, Go right ahead.
So Rikishi stands up to the bully, but the bully is actually a very cocky and confident Kurt Angle.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, yeah.
Underrated segment, good stuff. Backstage, Gail Kim cuts a promo ahead of the number 1 contenders match for 65. Good segment.
Very good, actually. Very good. This one was set up in a situation they're both separate, but we put them all together just for timing issues. But this one was Gail Kim will be first, talking about how she's been thinking about winning the title ever since she's joined the company, ever since she made it to WWE. And as she kind of said last week, she's sitting going, getting rid of Molly Holly out of her life. She can finally focus on it. And she kind of she's I respect Leah. Who doesn't respect Leah? But you're in my way. And tonight, I respect you, but I have to beat you because I have my dream to become world champion, women's world champion, and it's going to happen this soon. So, and then obviously it's Lita comes out. Similar thing. Lita comes out saying, I respect Gail Kim, really respect what she done to Molly Holly, all the stuff. But again, it's been far too long since Lita is a world champion, a women's world champion. So tonight, that's it's going to again. She's in her way. She wants to take her out. So the similar promos, they've got similar goals. So the interesting thing is this going to what's going to bring up in the match? So yeah, sets up 65. Very good there. Sets up the number 1 championship match very nicely.
Very, very nicely. Who is going to SummerSlam? Gail Kim or Lita? Well, we don't know just quite yet. 61 and a draw finish. He says double pinfall, not quite double pinfall. Stream.
This one I've just. I know it's saying like draw, but I like the idea that these two have just basically gone out and put everything on the line just to get a shot at the women's world title, right? So I like the finish that they do a lot sometimes when they want to do split draw finishes where. It's just double pinfall, but the way I've done it is let's do a situation where Gail Kim's got a submission on Lita, but then Lita counters it or something I don't know what submission. What would be a good finish where it's a triangle choke or something? I think that might be work. Where it's she's got the triangle choke, Gail Kim's got it on Lita, but obviously I think Lita taps, but then Gail Kim's shoulders are on the mat, so you know the finish I'm thinking of, right? Yeah. Where it's the ref. What was it? The ref counts to 3, but Lita taps, but the ref doesn't see. And then we have both of the refs saying, "No, she won. No, she won." And then there's a controversy behind it. But I want it to be a situation that's just because the two of them beating the hell out of each other. It just and I like those finishes, so that's what it is. It's not a double pinfall, but it's kind of one tapped, one pinned. There's not a clear winner. Controversy ensues. Yeah.
I like it. Okay. Backstage, well, last week they didn't win back their tag team titles, and the World's Greatest Tag Team are on a warpath for a 74. Very
good there. This one was it? Nothing. No, okay, that's okay with Sharon Benjamin. I was right there with that word, but this one is just simple. They are fuming. They lost their tag team championships. They didn't win them back last week. So simple thing is, they are on a warpath, and basically. Everyone should stand out of their way, because if they get in their way, it's not going to end well for them. No. So basically, this is not just this is a different side of the World's Greatest Tag Team we haven't seen yet. So yeah, they're frustrated. They lost their titles and they're not happy. So they want to take it out on someone. So God forbid the person they take out on.
More on that later. Also backstage, Lance Storm wants a shot at the US title, but he's not the only one for a 90. What a segment.
Wow, I mean, again, it's probably because of Lance Storm, of course.
I mean, clearly, clearly.
So, I mean, Stone Cold's there, but it's clearly Lance Storm. But this one's simple. Yes, he wasn't on the show last week, but I like the idea that maybe he's, I don't know, off celebrating. Let's go for that. Makeup still, I don't know. Something. He was too busy. He's always he needed a week off because he was so banged up from that 3 Stages of Hell. That makes sense, wouldn't it? In a situation, and but the idea that he comes back and he's okay, so I've beaten Triple H 3 times, and he starts to get confident, going, okay, I think I need to start challenging for world titles or starts challenging for a bit of gold. So, but he goes up to RVD and Stone Cold and just basically simple thing saying, this is not complicated. I want your title. I want to face you for that title. And yeah, I like the idea of that. He just basically blatantly goes up to him and said, I want to challenge you for the title. And obviously, like, you got Stone. Well, this is set up later for a very segment that Carl will like. I know he will. But this one. But then obviously CM Punk just comes in saying, like your time. Yes, you might be doing well so far, but your time has been like, I'm the up and comer. I'm the star, the rising star. So if anyone, and also you haven't even beaten RVD. I have. So if anyone deserves another shot at that year's title, it's me. And then it's just they both face off and they go, okay, do you want to prove that in the ring? And CM Punk goes, go right ahead. And it sets up the match that is next.
Well, Lance Storm, CM Punk, we've asked them to steal the show. Will they do that? And 80 says pretty damn good. 86 for Lance Storm.
If there's one thing that's a success story in this save, it's that I've been able to get an 86 from good booking on Lance Storm. Give me some credit for that. I don't get a lot, but
I'll give you now. Give you. Lance Storm beats CM Punk with a super kick. Good hard fought match you would expect, and Lance Storm pulling it out.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that score is kind of sets up the next segment so much better than I ever imagined when you think about it. All I'm saying, this segment, just to set up, is Faye Meta and Carl, when he was writing it, put it in, was very, very happy.
Well, let's get to it. Let's not waste any more time. Lance Storm's beating CM Punk, and he's silenced an old critic. Stone Cold does not think Lance Storm is boring anymore. From 92, what is going on in this show?
You knew the time when I was doing it. You knew when I had Stone Cold on this show, you knew at some point I had to do this, right? But it's very simple. Walks up the ramp, Stone Cold's there, applauding, kind of like looking impressed. And maybe if you really want to go really over the top, you could sit there and say he's got a beer or something. And he has 2 beers and he gives it to Lance Storm. And it's like, impressed by him. If you're going to do it, you got to do it, right? But yeah, it's just, I like the idea that basically he's like, I was wrong about you. Really impressed. But no words, no nothing. It's all symbolism. Like either shake hands or do a thing where they both cheer for a toast of beer. But yeah, he silenced a critic today with impressive performances and that victory against CM Punk. So yeah, but as you said, Carl, very happy with this segment. I think you really were, weren't you?
It's incredible. Backstage, the World's Greatest Tag Team on a warpath, and they've taken it out on someone. That someone is Edge for a 76.
Yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing less than that. With no expect craziness here, but yeah, I mean, obviously this is completely spoilers, completely changed the plans that I had. But when it kind of makes sense for what I'm doing, makes sense what I want to do now. But yeah, I like the idea. It's basically to go around and it's just basically a bit paranoid, like to go around and walking around kind of really frustrated, really annoyed, and trying to find someone to attack. And then maybe they see like Edge talking to someone and he's laughing, right? But for some reason, I don't know why they would think that he's laughing at them or taking the mick out of them for losing, right? So basic situation of they just go and attack him. Constant beat down. Obviously, that's not who's there. Actually, it's a constant beat down by 2-on-1. Security come out trying to stop it. You know what segment we're talking about here. It's been done to death. But I like the idea that just beat down. And obviously, you've got like security holding off. Like Charlie Haas is like being okay. But it's Shelton Benjamin is the one that's like really like the eyes of rage or something like that. Like I don't know. He hasn't unleashed anything, but it's just he's fed up of being disrespected. Been kicked off King of the Ring. He's lost his tag title. He's got Mick Foley doing what he does, and he wants to take out on someone. And unfortunately, Edge just made the wrong look apparently, and takes him out. And and luckily, it's going to set up a nice feud between them. But when I think about it, it makes me more excited for what kind of cool story beats we can do.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what we can do. This is an interesting one. Triple H goes to WWE HQ in an effort to get Mick Foley fired.
Yeah, obviously I made it was my own fault in a sense. I played up the attack more but then downplayed it the next segment. So it's kind of a cock up on my end. But I like the idea that basically he blames Mick Foley, but he's fed up with Mick Foley being GM. He is tired of Mick Foley getting involved in his business. So I like the idea that he just like, okay, he goes to Linda McMahon, he goes to WWE HQ. I mean, we obviously this is 04, so nobody knows that he probably has a key to the building because he's married to the, the daughter of the company. But but in 04, nobody knew that, right? So I like the idea that he just comes in, walks around, messes the place up, scares staff. I say he's got a sledgehammer with him or something. But when I more think about it, the more I like the idea that basically he's doing what Brock did to Triple H's office all those years ago when he walks in and basically destroys it. Yeah. Maybe that's where Brock got the idea. Maybe you don't know. I mean, but like, yeah, just sledgehammer to the table, breaks in half. Attacking the walls, all that kind of stuff. And simple thing here. It's kind of like he's frustrated. He wants to send a message to them that if you don't fire him, this is what happens. But I don't know if we're going to put it on later, or I don't know what we decided. But this puts a response that Linda McMahon is going to be on SmackDown next week. That is huge because he hasn't been on SmackDown since week 1. So it tells you how important this is. So interesting stuff. I couldn't help myself. I had to do an Attitude Era invasion of the HQ segment. It had to be done. I had to do it. I wanted to do it. So, but NHS, that's not bad when you think about it. But yeah, so interesting stuff next week, eh?
Indeed. Okay. Turns out, back in the arena or backstage in the arena, there's one person out and one person in at Aspire for a 54.
Yeah, pretty much. I think obviously what I've thought about this is basically a situation of like asking the question. So why have you done this? Why have you first get Gail Kim, then Jazz? Why have you kicked them out of your group? And I like the idea that basically, they were holding it holding their back, and fed up with these upstarts upshining me. Like, do you know who I am? Type situation. And I'm kicking them out and I'm bringing in experience. Fed up with these upstarts, going to bring experience. And we're going to prove to those up-and-comers that we run this division type situation. And obviously we're at Molly Holly now that she's got rid of the deadweight, got rid of all these up-and-comers, all that kind of stuff, that now she can finally focus on reclaiming the women's division and taking it over like she did all those months ago. But obviously, we said backstage, but I like it in the ring in a way. And Tori Wilson comes out. Basically, I like the idea of her going, yeah, I'm fed up. I've obviously, let's put this, she's inspired by that Gail Kim and Jazz, like standing up against a bully type situation and like going after what they want. And obviously, Tori Wilson has said she wants to get more opportunities and she wants to stand up to bullies as well. So she hears this and she's inspired by it. So she sits there and says, oh, you talk about, running this division. Well, first you got to get through me type situation. And yeah, basically it sets up a match that is next. But yeah, Molly Holly's feels she wants to take back what was hers. Now she's got rid of all the dead weight, as you would say.
Okay, well, the match then, Molly Holly, Tori Wilson for a 64. Good stuff.
Yep, I'm not too surprised by that because obviously we've tested with Tori Wilson in pre-shows before and she gets scored quite well in this game, so that's why I kind of did it. But yeah, this one I kind of like the idea. I mean, underhand tactics works fine. Why not? Obviously, if you're going to have a new member, obviously it's got to actually start helping them win. So it makes sense that obviously it ends with I just put Molly Holly wins with hitting Jacqueline distraction, turns around, hits. I still can't remember what Molly Holly's finisher is. I think it was like a bulldog, or something like that. Hits that to get the win here. But yeah, it was just a simple match to. If you're gonna have a new member of the group, you got to visually show that it works, starts getting them wins. So obviously, but then there's more stuff. There's a little bit more action after the match.
Indeed. Well, Molly and Jacqueline, they're a team now. So they put the boots of Tori Wilson, but they didn't see this coming. Jazz comes out to make the save. And we're going to do the face turn. It's not going to go down well because she's better as a heel, apparently, but we're going to do it. What? Terms of complete success. Fuming.
Well, maybe it's just a sign of my amazing booking, but you don't want to get me too. I don't want to be too cocky, do I? Don't want to be too cocky. But yeah, the simple one. Obviously, 2-1 beat down on Tori Wilson, and then obviously Jazz comes out for the save. sets up that obviously looks like she's going to be probably. This whole thing set up is supposed to set up Jazz, Molly Holly, Jacqueline, Joy Wilson. So it's as you said before, it's simple but it works. Sets up quite nicely. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay. It's been a decent show so far. Let's see if we can continue it. We're going straight back to the in-ring action. It is a hardcore match between Hardcore Holly and Devon Dudley. This might surprise people. Gets a 70. Very good.
Oh, thank God. I was really worried there. Oh, I was really worried. Obviously this one I put with simple Devon, his finish. I don't know what that'd be. I mean, his finish is was it spine buster, really? Come on, game. You can think because I'm more correct than that. Come on. But yeah, I like the idea that obviously, actually that could work because we should have made it a tables match. That's what we should have done. Should have done that. But I like the idea. Just it's a simple the hardcore match because obviously with this hard man kind of tournament I've been setting up. Now it's become about the titles now type situation. So yeah, it's nothing really too crazy here. Yeah, I like the spine buster. That say put it through a table and then he gets the win that way. If you're going to have a Dudley, it's going to have a table. If it's a hardcore match, Dudley equals table equals. It's going to be in the finish. It's just the way it is.
Just the way it is. It's a great
70,
match.
they have.
Great match.
They have
great
it.
match. Backstage, the women's champion Trish Stratus says after what happened earlier, she will make sure there is a number one contender next week.
Yeah, but as I said before, it's obviously Trish that takes taking the initiative when it comes to the defense of her title. So she saw what happened. Instead of seeing it as a negative, she sees it as a positive. So we've had it before where she's had a week to decide what she's going to do. Because obviously the ball's in her court at the moment. Because you could sit there and say Mick's a bit distracted with all what's going on. So it could be a situation that maybe Mick's gone to like say, okay, you sort your stuff out for this thing type situation. But yeah, it's nothing crazy. We'll find out next week. What's she going to do? Is she going to face what? Is she going to face them one separately? Going to face them both times? Is she not going to face them at all? We don't know. We'll find out next week.
Okay. Let's check in with Kurt Angle again, shall we? We've got promos before the main event. Kurt and Rikishi both cut promos for an 86th. Rikishi with an 86th. Come on.
I'm either really excited but really dreading it to think that. Oh God, it's like this match. This could go two ways. It could be like the match could be great, but then the match could be awful. Like I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about the promos. Obviously, it's Kurt first. Simple one here saying, "You better be watching, Eddie, because this is what I'm going to do to you at SummerSlam." So simple one here. To send a message to Eddie. And then Rikishi said, simple thing is just he's done this because he wants to show people that he could be a championship contender again. Because people forgot about him. Because obviously we all forget at some point he was challenging world titles at some point. So I like the idea that Rikishi's like, he's got confidence by doing that thing against Mark Henry. I mean, if you're doing that kind of thing off the top of Cage, you would be very confident when you afterwards.
I mean, yeah.
So,
no.
You don't want to do it.
86 this is good. Can the match do the same? I mean, you've got 90 to beat after a pretty poor Raw.
I'm dreading
but the main event is the clincher here. If you have a bad main event, I've still got a chance. If Kurt Angle does Kurt Angle things, it should be 2-0 SmackDown. Main event gets a 90.
The gamble paid off. Thank God. I was worried here, but then I should have thought the beautiful thing about this game when you realise that Kurt's kind of consistently delivers when it comes to TV rating shows, right? Maybe not in some of the matches he had, but if I've always been
Kurt's always done quite well. It's Edge that brought it down. To be fair, Kurt 94 has done it,
and then maybe sometimes Ed, and Triple H with their matches and stuff. But Kurt, honestly, he didn't carry it, but he did most of the legwork for it.
The legwork is good because he wins with the ankle lock, making Rikishi tap. Kurt Angle, this new, determined, unstoppable Kurt Angle, is heading Eddie Guerrero's way.
It's got like the question is how the question would be on commentary: can anyone stop this man?
Doesn't seem so. It really
the people he's making tap. We're not talking about like champs, so it's like it's not it's supposed to make Kurt Angle. Yes, this guy is dangerous, and now he's after the world title. I mean, it's only if he's on this reckon, what he's doing now is only a matter of time before he wins the world title, isn't it? How the hell is Eddie going to stop him? And kind of the next segment kind of reaffirms that.
Reaffirms that indeed. Kurt lays out the champ for a 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a loss for the red brand this week. I'm saying it now. There's no way you've got less than a 90. It's just not possible.
I think, as I said, I put most of my eggs in one basket, and obviously find out with the score. But it seems like it's worked. Seems like it's worked.
You know what? Let's just find out. Smackdown gets a 95.
Almost.
I wouldn't quite say it's a 95 show. Where's that come from?
Probably in the main event.
That shows how having the difference between an 87 and a 90 main event.
I think this is how the game works. We've had this before, where it's like it kind of feels like the old school early on in the save, where it's just some of the stuff like were okay to good, and then the main event usually like get high weighting. It just catapulted the whole show. But I was happy with that because it's like again, I was with Rikishi thing, but the more I was thinking about it, mate, Rikishi has been consistently against Kurt. Kurt's consistent using TV anyway, so I was quietly confident. But but. Got to be honest, some stuff did well. I mean, a lot of the stuff like hit where I wanted it to be or a bit better. I mean, the idea that I get a 70 out of Devon Dudley going against Hardcore Holly in a hardcore match just tells you a lot that maybe that was a sign, maybe. But yeah.
That's big.
2-0.
That's big.
Yep. Yeah, so 2-0 so far, 95. One off, almost 1 point off your best show you've done in 96. 1 point off. So...
He's confident. He's cocky. Yes, every right to be. Let's see what happens next week. Oh, it's not a good week for Monday Night Raw. It's a 90 for Raw, which is disappointing. But if I can take any positives from it, it just... He was going to... Smackdown Pro in 95. What can I do about that? Do you know what I mean? Like, even if I put on a good show... to the level that we've usually put them on, 95 we weren't beating anyway. So take the loss, 2-0 down. We need to come back big next week. So I'm planning Shawn Michaels versus The Big Show. We got this. If you are excited for that, make sure to have a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for a whole lot more. And until then, peace.